was so scared.
I was so scared.
Oh, hello. Welcome back.
Hi.
Well, we should do this first.
Cheers.
To our non-spawn. They're still not sponsoring us yet.
It's weird they didn't reach out, guys. Surfside didn't reach out to us.
It might have been because
Cheers.
we were drinking High Noons.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
So
I forgot. This is the first week we will have Surfsides.
They probably are like, we're not sponsoring them because clearly they like High Noons better.
They don't have the budget for us.
And also, like, they probably said, like, they already, like, they're not going to sponsor us because we're just going to drink them anyways. So they're like, they're going to buy our products. So why would we even need to sponsor them?
I mean, we're toting them around. We're telling everybody.
It's going to be tough what we decide to do. But what do you think about this new set, by the way?
It's my house.
It's Kristen's house. We have a ring light now. Thank you to Emily. She got us a ring light.
She's also sponsoring us.
Yeah, she's our first sponsor, Emily Lawrence, for the ring light. Thank you.
Thanks, Emily.
But yeah, so it looks so nice. Hopefully it all works okay. And yeah.
Hopefully it looks better. We found in the last episode that a lot of people wanted to watch on YouTube. Mm-hmm. So we kind of put that together really quickly. Like we weren't even thinking about doing a YouTube video. And then you were like, you know what? Let me just set up the iPad and we'll do it. And I was like, okay, yeah. So we kind of like threw something together.
Yes.
And then most people listened on YouTube.
Yes.
Listened and watched.
How do you prefer to, like, you would prefer to watch the video if you could?
Yeah. I always, when I listen to podcasts, I usually watch unless I'm like taking a walk or I'm in the car.
Yes.
But like if I'm sitting down at home or if I'm even cleaning around the kitchen, I'll put it on the YouTube video.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So. And also I heard a lot of feedback that our voices sound the same when you're listening on Spotify.
Sorry.
So it's hard to decide. I mean, Ohio and Delaware, I don't understand how we couldn't be more similar in the way that we speak.
It might be because we hang out too much.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of like picking up on each other's, because I'm one of those people that if I'm chatting with someone and they like I'll start to mirror what they're doing. Oh.
And that's probably like the actor in you, the theater kid in you.
I do it like subconsciously that I don't know that I'm doing it. And then I'll like come home and I'll like say something and I'll go, oh, that sounded like something Sarah would say. Why did I say it like that? But it's just something.
And everyone laughs so hard because they're like, that was so funny.
They're like, you sound like this girl I know.
Also, we talk about the sweatshirts.
Oh, yes.
We love these. So Doug's sister, mine says Sweet Summer, hers says Always August. Doug's sister had put together some different promotional items that remind us of our girls. So she does have a website and we'll link it up as well. But these are like our fall crew neck shirts.
They're so comfy.
They're so cute. Yeah. But it's just sort of ways like Kristen's has the butterfly on it and just always remembering like it's always August no matter the time. And same thing with Summer. We always called her our Sweet Summer. Mm-hmm. So it's always nice little things. Oh, and we got the cups.
Oh yes, cups too.
Love this. Always August, Sweet Summer.
Guys.
Yeah. These are so cute. Oh yeah. We're like here.
Like look at this.
Yes.
Iridescent.
Yeah, these are pretty.
Yeah, they're really cute. Mm-hmm. So thank you, Heather.
Yeah, thank you.
Also.
And mine has vodka. What does yours have in it?
Mine's straight tequila.
Oh my gosh, you probably heard me regurgitate on the mic and everyone is going to turn it off right now.
No, it's water. It's just
water. This is just water. It's just still water.
We're sponsored by water.
Yeah.
Thank you, water.
Yes, love you. So let's talk really quick about like the feedback from our last episode.
Yes.
Because it was insane in the best way. Everyone was loving it. Mm-hmm. Did Keith listen?
Yes.
Okay.
He listened. I didn't think he was going to because he's been really busy with work.
Of course.
But he did listen.
Okay.
And I feel like we need to do like a corrections section.
Yes.
Okay. Every week.
Agreed.
Because there were some things that we were like, oh, what that was incorrect. Like, let's talk about this. And the one thing that Keith said was, I can't believe you didn't tell the Pinky story.
Yes. And I completely forgot about this Pinky story the first time that we met Keith.
Yeah.
And this was post the game. So remember we said we went to like Xfinity Live, went to the basketball game, and then we came back to Xfinity for drinks. And we shut it down. We did shut the place down.
We were the last people.
We're like, they're vacuuming and
they're literally going like this to the door.
Yeah, exactly. Time to get out.
Get out.
But Keith was telling us about his pinky. What's it called?
Like he had like cartilage, like I don't know. What did I say?
A calcium deposit.
Yes. Calcium deposit in his pinky from when he broke his pinky like years ago. And the calcium deposit kept growing and growing. So his pinky ended up like this.
Yes. And
like
somehow
curved.
This came up in conversation at the
I think
Xfinity
he
Live.
said, like, what's going on with your pinky? And he was like explaining it to you, like he broke his finger and it's a calcium deposit.
Yes.
And he was like going like, I feel like
I think I said, I feel like I could straighten that out for you.
That's what happened.
Yeah. I said, because his finger was like this. And I was like, I feel like I could straighten that out for you. And he was like, he went like this and went, he said something karate chop. He karate chopped it. I did not.
Yeah. He put his own finger on the table and he like hi-ya'd his own pinky.
Yes.
And the calcium deposit burst.
And it's an internal burst. It's not like an external. Like,
his pinky didn't fly off of his hand, obviously. But it straightened immediately after he did that. He went white as a ghost.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh my gosh, I got it straight. And I looked at him. I'm like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Is everything all
right? Yeah. And is it since gone back to the...
I think it's built up again? I think it might be slowly growing back. But
okay, we can handle.
We might have to do it again.
We might have to do it again. Well, that was like 7 years ago or something.
Yeah,
now,
it was a long time
we
ago.
have some time. But yeah, so then the other correction that I wanted to speak about was there was the point at the end where I was like, I don't even know like sense of time. I was like, I know like Summer died on April 4th, but that was like a million years ago. She died on April 5th. So that just goes to show you how I don't even count the date that she died because I don't clearly know it. Yeah. Maybe I thought since she came home on the 4th, died on the 5th. I don't know. But so that was really bugging me when after we recorded it, I was like, oh my gosh, I said the wrong date.
And I was like, no one will even like think about it.
Yeah.
Because you have so many days in your brain of like you said, like when you brought her home and when she passed and certain like milestone dates in your head for surgery and all that kind of stuff.
Yes. And same thing with you too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always think about August with like 12s because she was born on the 12th, died 12 days later on the 24th.
Yeah.
So I always think of 12s.
Yeah. It's a good way to remember it.
Yeah. I hate the number 12.
I hate 12. I'm petitioning to axe it from the numbers.
From the numbers. Like
I'll be discussing with the numbers soon.
Like when you go to a hotel and don't hotels not have like 13 floors?
Some don't. Some skip 13. And it's like, okay, but your 14th floor is just your 13th floor.
Exactly. And
not
I didn't know that.
Me.
Yeah. You are not tricking me, elevator.
I know what you're up to.
But really quick, I did want to also talk about, I know we briefly touched on it in the beginning about the feedback, but really thank you everyone who reached out and to provided us a little bit about your story. And it just was so refreshing for us at least to know like we're not alone in this journey. And I hope it was refreshing to others who may be like in the same boat that we are in like the grief of losing a child. Because when we had asked for some questions or if there was anything like you wanted to talk about in this next episode, we couldn't believe the amount of people that reached out that sounded, from what we could gather, we're going to keep it all anonymous, but they also experienced child loss. So
some people that we didn't even know that had experienced child loss, and then others who spoke about, you know, losses of family members that was like, oh, I didn't even know this was bothering that person. I mean, obviously grief is grief, but like, you know, you never know who's hurting and when they're hurting. And so that's why I really like why we're doing this podcast, because we are reaching out to so many and we got good feedback.
We did. And even people that don't really have anything in common with what we're going through just enjoyed the podcast. And I think said it just sort of like shed a light on what grief can look like for certain people. And I think we sometimes do a good job of like masking it. But really it's always there. So, and I don't know if I said on the last episode how I always like compare it to the tide. Did I talk about that? I don't know.
I know you said that to me before, but I don't know if you said it on the podcast.
Yeah. So I always think like, at least with my grief, and I always tell Kristen this too, like when she's like having a rough day is, you know, sometimes our grief is just like the tide, like it's just out in the water. And it's just sitting there out, just lollygagging away, floating away. And then I can feel it coming. Yeah. And it's coming. And
you can see it. You're moving your beach chair back. You're going, uh-oh, it's coming. Let me move my beach chair back more. Move my beach chair back more.
Yep. And then it just eventually hits.
It's such a good like visualization.
For sure.
Of how it can feel.
Yes. And I said that to my therapist the other day. I was like, my tide is out, because she knows that comparison. I'm like, my tide right now is out, so I don't think I need like this full hour session. So I said, sometimes the tide is just, it's like, oh, you're just stuck in it. It's like when you're like get rolled over by a wave and you're like, this must be it.
Yeah.
and then you stand up and it's like to your ankles.
Yeah.
And you're like, whew, that was scary. But you just come back.
Thought I was going down forever.
Yeah.
But I just had to stand up on my feet and I was fine.
Exactly. So I feel like our tides come and go.
Yeah.
But right now, how's your tide?
My tide's coming in.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going, this past week was tough for me. And I don't know. I mean, I was so happy after we dropped our first episode. And then I think like feeling all of the energy from other people and like their stories made me like sad, but also happy that we were able to reach out to them. But like soon after that, I was like, oof, I'm starting to feel it again. So mine's coming in.
Okay. Yeah. And that makes sense how you are like personality wise too.
Yeah.
You take on a lot.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I'm super empathetic when it comes to stuff like that. And then I wake up and I go, oh man, I'm sad now. But that's a good episode in the future too, is to talk about how we grieve differently and how we both deal with our tides differently, because we are different when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Even though everyone thinks we're twins.
Yeah. I was immediately thinking of the Mary Kate and Ashley like songs like, hello, we're twins.
We're twins. Yes, sir. I am me. She is she. Except when I pretend I'm her.
That's what I was thinking about. Honestly, when you were just like, yeah, we're like the same but different.
Shout out Mary Kate and Ashley.
Yeah, if you're watching.
Yeah. Prune.
Yeah, well, one just had a baby. Mary Kate, I think, right? She just had a baby.
One of them did. I have no idea which one.
Yeah, I don't know which one it was either.
It might be Mary Kate, but if it's Ashley, we're sorry.
Yeah.
And congrats.
Congrats, yes. I wrote down notes. And you know this is huge for me.
Proud.
Because I'm not a note taker in life. It's like I'll just remember it maybe. Yeah. And Kristen's got like the notes for days.
As soon as it
show your notes and show mine. These are mine and these are Kristen's. Mine just has like 3 words.
There's a lot, but I'm so like ADD. As soon as I like speak it or it's out of my brain, it's like gone forever.
It's gone. Yeah.
So I have to write it down.
I think that works really well.
Yeah.
So let's discuss why we had to push the episode back so much further.
Oh yeah. Before we get into this episode,
we were supposed to record a long time ago.
We were supposed to record on Tuesday.
Yes.
But Monday.
Today is Friday.
Yeah. You had a little outing.
Yeah, I did.
And I want to hear all about it.
Okay. So now Kristen and I are the friends that I'm not talking to you right now because I will talk to you about this on the podcast.
I have waited all week to hear about this
Pink concert.
It's the Pink concert. And she was like, I'm not telling you until the podcast. I was like, what?
And nothing super crazy happened except I cried twice. And in the best way, I guess, maybe. But my cousin Sam, she had said what she wanted to go to the concert. And I was like, nah, like we're going to Disney in a couple weeks. Like I should just behave myself. And she was like, well, if I get tickets, will you go? And I'm like, yes, of course.
Yeah, have to.
So of course, did the parking. I drove, got us the drinkies inside. So we tailgated out in the parking lot with my sister-in-law, Michelle, and her friend, Kelly.
I do have to say, you are always like the brain child of everything. Like, yes, Sam bought you the tickets, but you did like the logistics, correct? Of like,
yes,
like you drove her,
yes,
you knew where to park,
yes,
you knew where to set up,
yes,
you
and
packed
I was
snacks,
and I was like, and this is the way we're gonna leave this parking lot.
Yes.
And it still took us 45 minutes, but it still took us 45 minutes. But it was so nice. So we did a little tailgate in the beginning, and we went into the show, and immediately we were like, get to our seats. We had pretty good seats. She played at Citizens Bank Park, which is the Philly stadium.
Yeah.
So love that. So we were kind of like, if you could imagine, she's in the outfield and we are sort of sitting on like the third base line, up on the like 300 level. So anyways, these two ladies, this one lady's like sitting in front of us and she's just sitting there, just like waiting. We're waiting for the Brandy Carlisle to come out. Love her.
Okay.
So we're just sitting there and she's just sitting there. And then I guess it maybe was like her partner or her wife was kind of coming, and so she comes and her partner's got like a sling on her arm, and Sam, my cousin, is a doctor. She's a physical therapist. So Sam sees this lady in the sling and she's like this. She loves this. This is her bread and butter. And me, I'm like at the point in life now, like after all this stuff with like Summer, I don't care. I do not care about whatever this is going on in front of me. Like I just am ready to listen to Brandy Carlisle.
Yeah.
But Sam's like in her doctor mode. So the ladies like come in and she's sitting down, and the other lady's like trying to help her sit down, and Sam's like, "Are you guys okay?"
Oh my gosh, I love
the lady's
Sam.
like, "I just had rotator cuff surgery." And Sam's like, "Oh my gosh, how's the recovery? I'm a physical therapist, and you've been going to PT." And the lady, her wife or partner was like, "I just had a heart attack 4 weeks ago."
What is this? Like, let's tell our sob stories.
Yeah, and I'm
did
like,
you say
no?
Oh, okay.
I did not. I
just had to one up them.
I was just not. And they were just saying, life's been so tough lately. And I'm like, well, I mean, a heart attack is pretty tough. That's, life threatening.
Yeah, for sure.
But I just thought it was so funny because, of course, like we get sat with these two like wonderful women. They were so fun. So then like Pink's like, everybody stand up. And the lady's like with her rotator cuff, like trying to stand up. And Sam's like, guys, they'll have a heart attack on us. Like, it was so funny. So the whole time, like, we're just like kind of watching them and like just being like having a great time. But it was so funny.
Keeping a nice watchful eye over them.
Yeah. Like Sam's like, don't party too hard. No, we don't need that. So she actually
Sam's a perfect person to have at a concert. What did she say
it's called? There's a word. I forget what it's called. I'll do it after our non-sponsored break. I'll look it up.
Okay.
But it's I should have wrote down, but my phone is being used to videotape this. But it's, if you're a doctor.
Oh, you said Samaritan?
Good Samaritan? Good Samaritan, yeah.
Okay.
So if you are like a doctor and someone's having a medical emergency, it's like an understanding, I guess, that if something happens to them, like you like legally need to should assist them, especially as a doctor. But it's known that like you're not at fault if that person like were to die or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I tried everything I could to save them. But
yeah, because that's your commitment, right?
Yes, that is your, duty to the people as a doctor. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so Sam was like ready with her Good Samaritan. Like if a heart attack happens, we're gonna
She's
do this.
on it.
Yes,
I love that.
But yeah, so Pink, she gives it her all. This girl performed for I think it was like 2.5 hours, and I saw the Taylor Swift concert, and that lady performed as well.
Yeah,
Pink ran around stage for 2.5 hours. She was jumping on people's backs, jumping on trampolines. People were jumping on her back. She's like doing flips, like going all around this whole stadium.
I love it.
I'm like, good for her. And she looked good doing it. Like she looked healthy.
Yeah.
I would have been so winded.
Yeah. You have to be like in the best shape of your life to do a tour like that.
Yeah. So then she did the Cover Me With Sunshine.
Oh.
This was the first cry.
Oh.
Because all of a sudden, she's just
Can you give us a little rendition of what that is for the people who don't know the song?
Yeah. Okay. So she's just like singing like Cover Me With Sunshine. And then all of a sudden Willow comes out. Her little daughter.
I knew it. I was just going to say, did her daughter come out?
Her little daughter comes out. And she's in the actual song. And she just comes out and she's like, cover me in sunshine. And she's the sweetest little precious thing you've ever seen in your life. So of course tears just like, I'm like, look at this mother and daughter. She's has to be so proud of her. Yeah. And then she just does like the chorus and then just like runs off the stage. And I'm like, okay, whew.
Get out of here.
Yeah. And Pink just the whole time is just like doting on her. Like, this is the best.
Yeah, I've seen like TikToks of them doing that, and it's so sweet.
Also, Rudy the cat has decided to join.
Rudy, you can't.
But I don't mind him. He's fine. Okay. It's the other one that
if you hear some tinkering around, it's the cat.
And she's going to be like chewing on my mic.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was she sings a song about her dad who passed away. Oh. And it's like all I forget the title of it. But anyway, she sings that, and I just sobbed the whole time. Literally, everyone sat down for this. It was a sit down.
It was a sit down.
Yes. The ladies in front of us, they sat, we were all resting our hearts, rotator cuffs, and we're just sitting there. And I'm
Rest your rotator cuff.
Yeah. I'm literally just like like sobbing, and Sam's like putting her arms around.
What is this lady going through back here?
Yeah. People around me are like, oh, she must have lost somebody.
Yeah.
Like,
she's feeling it.
Exactly. So the Pink concert was a blast. I feel like she's just local to Philly. This was her hometown show, so she was like ready to.
I didn't know she was local to Philly.
Yeah, she's like lived in Philly.
Oh.
Yeah. So she was just
no idea.
Yeah, she's like, you guys are my people. This is Philly. We grease the poles.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, no other city would do that. So I think she was a little extra like.
She was,
Yeah.
On another level.
Yeah, she really was.
Oh.
What are you going to do this weekend? It's supposed to monsoon here.
It's supposed to monsoon. I know. I wanted to go to the zoo, and it's just not going to happen. So I'm not sure what we're going to do.
Everyone's going to go to a trampoline park.
I was just going to say we might go to Urban Air.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine to go there. There's going to be a lot of people.
Everyone's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Or you can just let them play in the rain. Kids love that.
Otto needs to do something outdoors.
Yeah.
Or the trampoline park, or he will literally spontaneously combust if he is at home for 2 days.
Well, we're talking about doing something on Sunday. It's football Sunday though, but yeah. Who knows?
Gotta watch the Browns.
Yeah. Okay, so I had a question for you. This is totally off topic, sort of, but who on Good Grief would be like your ideal guest? Who do you want as like a speaker on here? It can be anybody. Like, who would you want on here?
It can be anybody?
Anybody. And I'm not saying like be like Taylor Swift or something. like somebody who's like relevant
like
to
Harry Styles.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I don't know. Like, ideal guest. Like,
yeah.
I really want to get Keith on the podcast. Oh. But I don't think he'll ever do it.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if he can sit for that long.
He can just like pop in for like a 10-minute session.
Maybe.
He would have no interest though.
No. He would give like one-word answers.
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, all right, we done?
Yeah, is this over? Yeah. So Keith?
Yeah, I would love to have Keith on.
Oh my gosh. And that's like an obtainable goal as well, but also very difficult.
Yes. I don't know if we'll ever see it.
Okay.
I don't know if he'll ever do it.
All right. Well,
that is time. You didn't give me enough time to think about that.
Yeah, I mean, you can putz and mull it over a little bit.
Yeah, I might have an answer in our corrections.
For next week. Okay,
next
good.
Episode.
Mine.
Yes.
Would be Christina Perry.
Oh, that's a good one.
I've had time to think about this, but I've always
how dare
thought
you
about
drop
this.
that on me and then have an amazing answer.
I love Christina Perry. She sings like Jar of Hearts. What's the one from Twilight? 1,000 Years.
Oh yeah,
love her. But she lost a child, and it ended up being, if I remember correctly, something like. Was it her blood pressure or like something related?
She had preeclampsia?
No, I think if she could have just had an injection for something, like it wouldn't have. I think it was a clot. Maybe it was a blood clot to her uterus. So she ended up like having a stillborn at like 30 some weeks.
I remember when that happened. It was terrible.
But it ended up being something that was preventable, and it's not a test that they run on pregnant women. So she's like fighting to have this be sort of a part of regular testing.
That's
to see if you
amazing.
carry, this trait or this
Right.
gene or whatever. So I would love to have her on there. Yeah.
That's a good one. That is a really good answer.
Yeah. So maybe I'll just send
Christina
those.
Perry, call us.
Yeah, exactly. That would be so fun.
That would be good.
Okay, so what are we going to do this episode? What are we discussing?
So let's get into it. So this we did put on our Instagram. If you're not following the Good Grief Pod on Instagram, please do. We said that we were going to talk about what helped us in the thick of our grief journey that our friends and family like did and said that like really helped, and what didn't help. Okay. And we were like, oh, why would they say that? Or why are you asking me to do this? That kind of a thing.
Okay.
And then we asked other people what helped them and what didn't help them. Because everyone's different.
Great.
So I thought we would go through what helped us and what didn't help us. And then we can get to the answers that they people gave us on Instagram. But disclaimer, we'll probably have a disclaimer on every single episode. Yeah. But if you've done or said any of these things to someone who's grieving, it's okay.
You're always so good at that, just these disclaimers.
Well, it's true because it is okay. I've done and said these things before I have gone through grief like this as well. It happens, and I don't remember specifically who has said and done these things, you know what I mean? But the words stick with me or the act sticks with me.
Yes.
So don't feel bad. Don't be upset. If it's you that has done this to us, don't apologize.
Yes.
We don't remember it was you.
Yes.
I think that's a good disclaimer.
No, I think that's fantastic. Very important.
Okay, so I'm going to start.
Please.
Okay. Let me get my notesies.
Okay.
So,
real quick, I have a disclaimer.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Wow, Sarah coming in.
Disclaimer.
All right.
We both also are not very religious people. So I do think that also comes to play sometimes with the responses that we get. And we can sort of talk about this in a little bit with some of like the answers or things that were said to us or gifts that were given to us. So I think it's important, like from a spiritual aspect, like, I personally believe there's like the higher power. I just don't know what it is. I don't know where Summer is and August are in the world of everything. So I do think it's important to kind of read your audience as well sometimes when you're doing things, when you're reaching out to somebody as well. So
because I come from a very religious family and I grew up in the church and very religious.
Yes.
But as I've even just experienced August passing, I have never been further away from that part of me.
Yes.
So not to say that I'll never get back to that point.
Yes.
But I'm very mad at God right now.
Yes. Yes.
And I have a right to be. So
that's
kind of where my head is.
Yes.
But anyway, yes. So things that helped me. Number 1.
Oh.
Vacations.
Oh.
Let's go on a vacation.
Yeah.
That was like the best thing. To be like, you know what? Let's go to Florida. Let's go to wherever. Disney. Let's go somewhere for a weekend. Let's get out of the house. That helped me so much. And shout out to my sister-in-law, Courtney Carrier.
Love her. She's so fun.
She is so fun.
It's the best.
And I love her dearly. Yeah. She would come on these vacations with us. She's at a point in her life where like her kids are grown up. And she was like, I've got some time, girl. I'm coming with you.
Yes.
And she would come on these vacations with us and give us date nights. So she would watch Otto.
Yes.
And then when Crew came along, she'll watch Crew.
Yeah.
And give Keith and I a date night, which was always so unbelievably nice and a way for Keith and I to like connect.
Yep.
Again, because we are in Pennsylvania, all of our families in Ohio, we don't have like a babysitter at the drop of a hat anymore.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
So you like to run away from the problem?
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Get me out of here.
Yeah.
Get me out of here.
Out. Yeah, that's okay.
Yes.
But it worked.
It worked.
Yeah. That's what your mind needed.
For the moment it worked.
Yes.
Of course. People making plans for me. Mm-hmm. Like you would call me and be like, we're going to the beach. Are you coming?
Yeah.
Which was like in my brain, you were like, you're coming to the beach.
Yes.
Yeah. Stuff like that. Like, hey, I'm going grocery shopping at Wegmans. Meet me in Glen Mills. Mm-hmm.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
That was an unplanned little break that we had.
Yeah, we got cut off.
Well, yeah, the program that we use allows like 30-minute increments. And we were just gabbing away and we didn't even realize.
We were just...
And Surfside said, make sure you put in a non-spawn.
At 30 minutes.
At 30 minutes.
So we did.
Thank you to Surfside. Non-spawn.
Thank you to Surfside. Yes. This iced tea plus vodka is amazing. It tastes like an Arnold Palmer. No.
Yeah.
Tom Collins.
I think we call them Arnold Palmers here.
Yeah.
Lemonade, right? And iced tea?
Yes.
Yes.
But if there's vodka involved, then it's called a Tom Collins.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
I used to bartend. I should know these things. But anyway.
Now they just did it for us.
It tastes better than a Tom Collins. It's amazing.
Yeah. We love them. Okay. I think we did enough talking about it.
Yeah, we did.
Get back to it.
We'll stop. Okay. So the next thing that really helped me was when people sent cleaners to my house. This is during when I was in the NICU with August, but our neighbors down the street, they had cleaners coming to their house and they were like, don't do our house, do their house. And they sent them straight to our house for like 3 weeks in a row.
Angels.
Which was amazing. Mm-hmm. Like that kind of a thing really helps people who are in the NICU, people who have family members in the hospital for a really long time, people who are grieving. To clean your house is the last possible thing on your brain. Mm-hmm. And that was just amazing. That helped out so much.
Yes.
Also, people just like saying, I know this sucks. Mm-hmm. Like it sucks. Yeah. This is fucked up. This is not fair. That helped me rather than people being like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's like, I know you're sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry too. Mm-hmm. Just say, this is fucked up.
Yeah.
Just be blunt with me. Mm-hmm. That helped me. And then it made me feel a little bit more at ease.
Yeah.
When people ask questions, mm-hmm. like when you know that I'm in a good space, like that I'm okay. And like August gets brought up, like, first of all, speak her name. Mm-hmm. Don't be afraid to speak her name.
Yes.
And ask questions. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't know what to say to somebody, ask.
Yeah.
Ask details. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, like, how long was she alive for? Was there a favorite song that you like to sing with her? My friend Melanie just asked me that the other day.
Yeah.
Her daughters wanted to know.
Like, what was it?
Well, we always sang Here Comes the Sun.
The best.
And You Are My Sunshine.
Yeah, love it.
But like those like thoughtful questions, and then get to know that person and their person that they're grieving a little bit. Yeah. That's super helpful. Acknowledging our grieving rather than saying, like, giving us like sad eyes. Mm-hmm. Like, how many times did you get like,
yeah, we just talked about this the other day, you and I.
It's like, don't do that to people. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, we already feel like our heads are like this big, mm-hmm. and there's like a big zit on the side of our cheek. Yeah. Like, we know you're looking at us.
Yes.
I felt like this when I was walking around the neighborhood. I would always walk around my neighborhood with like glasses on, like sunglasses mm-hmm. on, but I was crying. Yeah. And I was like, I know people are like looking out their windows going, oh, there's a sad girl. She lost her baby. Yeah. So don't do that. Don't give sad eyes. Give hugs. Give me a thoughtful like hug and mean it.
Yeah.
Rather than give me like sad eyes.
Yeah.
Because that's like, ooh, I know you're looking at me. Mm-hmm. Getting text messages without the pressure of texting back. Mm-hmm. Like, put that disclaimer in there, like, hey, just wanted to send you a quick text. You don't have to get back to this anytime soon. Just thinking of you, blah, blah, blah. Those were very helpful. The year of gifts that you were kind of like the lead on for me.
And I only got that idea because of Marky for Liz.
No way.
I asked Marky when August passed, like, what can I do? Like, what did you guys do for Liz? And
oh my gosh.
She was like, we did like a year of gifts. And so
those are two of our friends.
Yes.
Liz, who lost her daughter.
Yeah. So that's where I got the idea from.
Oh my gosh.
So I reached out to somebody else who had experienced grief.
Yeah.
To make sure that I was navigating it in the correct way that would be helpful, or not helpful, but like just not like a pressure, or I just wanted to make sure it was such like a fragile topic, and especially being close friends, I'm like, I don't even know what to say. Like, what can I do?
My gosh, it was so special. She would, like, people signed up for the whole year to send a gift on the 12th of each month. And I got so many amazing, beautiful gifts and mementos and just amazing things. And it was awesome. Yeah. Absolutely awesome. I'm so glad that, like, I was like, what a great idea. Yeah. So good looking out. Yeah. What else? Oh, letting me just word vomit without responding. Just let me get it out. Okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like when, like you would let me do that all the time. I would call you and I'm like, I just need to like talk. Yeah. And you would just be like, This was before summer passed. Yeah, of course. Yeah. But now we can go back and forth a little bit. So those kinds of things helped. What helped you?
Well, I echo a lot of those statements. Okay. Yes. Well. I don't think that it even has to be like monetary at all. So I think that's an important thing. Like you don't have to spend money to just express condolences to somebody. I think I had text messages from people, you know, who would send me text messages, even like in the hospital, like, hey, don't respond, just thinking about you. And if I had like the capacity to, I might just give it a little like. And sometimes I wouldn't. And there was somebody I worked with, the sweetest girl on my team, Maria. And I remember she had sent me texts like all the time, like, Sarah, I'm thinking of you, Sarah, I'm thinking of you, Sarah, I'm thinking of you. And I just like never responded. And then one day I had, like, after summer had passed, when she had said, you know, I'm just thinking about you, I just was like, oh, I'm going to respond to this. And I was like, Maria, I saw every one of your messages. Like I had the capacity to respond back. Yeah. And I just was like, even now I still think about that moment where I know, like, and not just her, but like anyone else who just reached out. I might not have responded back, but I know every single person who did. Yeah. And it means like, that's where I feel kind of like it doesn't need to be, you don't always have to expect an answer back from somebody, but just know that, like, you know, we saw the messages. Yeah. And if you're reaching out to somebody, like they're seeing the message too, even if they're not responding. Yes. So I think that's really good. But I will say the best thing that, like, out of the whole process, not the best, because there wasn't the best.
This was so much fun.
This was honestly like, this was so fun. Just wait for this.
Would definitely do it again.
Yeah. 10 out of 10 would recommend. And it doesn't have to even be like the loss of a child, just anybody going through something really shitty. My girlfriend, Emily, the day after Summer passed, so she passed on the 5th, which is a Wednesday, at like 5:00 at night. That morning when we woke up on the 6th, she had coffee delivered. DoorDash coffee, some hash browns for Penny. Yeah. Outside our door. And that to me was like the most simple thing. Yep. But I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So then Summer's NICU neighbor, Jackson, who I'll discuss further another episode. Maybe we can have Kaylin on. That's Jackson's mom. But when Jackson passed away, I had done the same thing Doug and I had sent coffee to their door the next morning when they woke up. Because I just remember that being just something so simple and easy. Yeah. So if it's also flowers, you know, flowers were whatever. I always liked getting a card.
I loved flowers.
You liked the flowers?
I did. There were so many of them here at one point.
Could we space it out?
Yeah, right? You guys sent it this month. Yes. You guys sent it this month. No, there were so many of them here, and I loved them when they were here. Yeah. But then once they started dying, then I was like, all right, I got to get rid of these, you know. Yes. There was a lot to get rid of. But I did love when they were here. Yes. I know some people like flowers, and some people are like, don't even. But I'm like, give me the flowers. flowers?
I liked the flowers. There was just a lot of them.
Yes.
And I just felt like it was good for like a week.
Yeah.
And then they all died.
Yeah.
One of our friends, Andrew and Brittany, they were like, instead of flowers, can we plant a tree, a magnolia tree, which blooms every like February, end of February, early March at Summer's birthday. Can we plant a tree at your house? We'll come over and plant it. And I was like, absolutely. So they planted a magnolia tree in the backyard. So we go out there and we water it. And they planted one in their yard as well for her, which is really sweet. So that was really nice, like a plant, like just planting in their honor. Yeah. And I think when it comes to us in the hospital, we were in the hospital for 41 days, which is so long. We had a lot of DoorDash gift cards, Grubhub. I mean, that was the bread and butter. Like,
I would say, like, guys, is it time to re-up their DoorDash?
Yeah. Cause I would not eat cause I would just be like,
and that made me so mad.
Yeah. And I was also like pumping. So I like needed to eat and keep that energy up. So it was just really nice to have the DoorDash gift cards. But like I said, it doesn't need to be, monetary. But that was really helpful. Just a DoorDash gift card because you can't think about food. And it was just a nice way to have it. So for me, that's what definitely helped was the text, the DoorDash gift cards. But I just think being there that's all you really need to do. Just show your support. Yeah.
Just be present. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Should we talk about things that helped our friends and family, or should we talk about things that didn't help us first?
Let's do didn't help us first.
Okay.
And then we'll get into.
I only have a couple.
Oh yeah. I have like just one.
Okay, cool.
So let's hear it.
This is the big one, and I know that this might be yours.
Yeah.
Too.
Am I like gonna get all hyped up?
Here it is, guys. Please don't say this to people. Oh, God needed another angel. Mm-hmm. Oh, he did? He fucking did? Well, he didn't need my daughter. Yeah. He's got plenty of angels. He can take somebody else's daughter. That's what I say in my brain. Mm-hmm. And that sounds so harsh.
Yes.
Coming out of my mouth. But that is exactly what I think when someone says God needed another angel.
Yep.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Yeah.
He doesn't need another angel.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, like your disclaimer before, like, first of all, don't bring God into it. What if that person is not religious? Like, that doesn't mean anything. And if that person is religious, that's going to make them hate God even more, which it did for me. Mm-hmm. Don't say that to people. Like, there are so many other things that you can say.
Yes.
Please don't say God needed another angel.
Yep.
And one of the responses from one of you guys, they said, this was God's plan. Mm-hmm. That was something that didn't help them. This was God's plan. This is the way that God intended. It's like, please don't bring God into it.
Yes. Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
People avoiding like her altogether. Like if I bring up August, which I do bring up August quite a bit, but people like kind of like sidestepping and avoiding it. It's kind of like, let the moment happen. Yes. Let me say what I need to say about her. Mm-hmm. And then when like transition back to whatever you need to transition to, but don't avoid it. Because that's not helpful for me in that moment. People asking, are you going to try for a girl? You shouldn't ask, first of all, you shouldn't ask any woman, are you trying for another baby?
Yeah.
I've done this a million times.
Yeah.
Before I had kids.
Yes. Yeah.
Before I had 2 miscarriages and before I lost August. Like, are you going to try for another? Oh, please don't do that because unless you know them on that level.
Yes.
But like, you don't know what this person has gone through to even have their first child or their second child. Mm-hmm. Like, you have no idea what that person is going through. So please don't say that.
I feel like that's generational too, though.
Yes.
That, it was sort of like you could just ask anything or you didn't speak about it at all.
Right.
Like miscarriages weren't spoken about, like, stillborn, like any of that stuff. You just didn't really discuss it.
Right.
So I think it's like the new age is more, we can talk about it openly a little bit more. So like we're not alone.
There's more support. Yeah.
So we're not alone.
And the last one is when people call me a boy mom. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Because I have a daughter.
Yeah.
And that happens quite a bit, especially with people who don't know that I've lost a child at all. So it's not their fault.
Yes.
But when people say, "Oh, you're such a boy mom," I'm like,
yes.
Nope, I have a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually said that to somebody before.
Yeah.
Like I was like so angry in the moment, and it's a moment thing. It's a moment thing.
Yes.
It's like I can take that comment today. It's fine. But that day I couldn't take it, and I was like, actually, I had a daughter, and she died.
Yeah.
And I ruined their day, of course. So.
Yeah. So unless you know somebody really, don't bring it up.
Don't bring it up.
Girl mom, boy mom. Yeah. When are you having another?
Yes, it's very important.
Yeah.
Okay, you go.
Again, those are all great points. Mine would be not saying anything at all. Especially if we're, decent friends. If you don't reach out at all, that's enough right there. I think.
Yeah, why? Why wouldn't you say anything?
Yes, I think that's, even if you don't know what to say, reaching out is better than doing nothing at all.
Say, I don't know what to say to you, but I'm here.
Yes.
That's enough.
Yeah.
No one knows what to say. And you're not going to say anything that's going to make me feel better.
Exactly right. Yep. But I recognize, who didn't reach out. Like you recognize it.
Yeah.
So even though you're in this kind of fog, like you recognize things like that. So I would say, just a text touching base is always just really nice. And like I said, not everybody's going to respond back depending on how they feel in that moment. But that would be my thing, is just the silence is deafening. So
yes,
that's my goal.
Yeah. You know who shows up for you and who tried, and you know who went radio silent.
Yes, exactly. So
and it's like, oof.
Yeah.
That hurts.
Yeah. It's a dagger to the heart.
It is. Is that a song?
I don't know, but if it is, it's copyrighted now.
We'll blur it out.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's discuss what everyone had written when we had put little in the chat on our story or whatever.
Yes. Responses from you guys.
Yep.
Things that helped you. We got a response from someone that said someone sent us weeks after our sister died. They sent us something in the mail, and it was so nice to receive a gift a couple of weeks after, when we felt like the world was moving on.
Yeah.
And I think that's super important too. Yeah, it can just be a card.
Yeah.
It can be something really, really simple and small.
Yeah.
But
love that.
Once everyone starts moving on, it takes maybe a month or two.
Yes.
And then you can start feel like you're like, where's everyone going?
Yeah.
I still need you here. And receiving a small gift like that is really important. Yep. So that's a good one.
Touching on that, I got I put it on my Instagram story maybe a month or two ago, but my sister-in-law Anna, her one of her best friends, Anne, had been in a store and saw this mug, and it was yellow, and it says "You are my sunshine" or something, but it was a coffee mug, and it just randomly came in the mail 4 months after she passed away, and it made my day.
Yeah.
Just to see, I was like, oh my gosh. So just little reminders constantly. So it's always my favorite mug.
Yes.
So just that little reminder gift. I was like, oh, that is so sweet. So I think that's a really great point.
And my
your cell phone case.
Yeah, that you got me.
Yeah.
I love it. It's got butterflies on it. Butterflies remind me of August.
It was August's birthday, her second birthday. Well, would have been her second birthday this year.
Yeah.
You guys had a race for Grace, August Grace. And I was like, I'm going to get a little cell phone case.
Yeah.
And with the butterflies.
Love it.
Yeah.
And I see it every day. It reminds me of her. It's amazing.
Yeah.
People acting instead of asking. So don't expect me to make decisions. Just do. Someone come over and clean, like I had said before. Someone's going out and grabbing food. Hey, we were at Chick-fil-A. Let me drop this off at your house. I picked up extra, whatever.
Yeah. Don't be like, what do you want for dinner tonight?
What do you want me to make you?
Yeah.
We don't have time.
I would like you to make my baby reappear.
Yeah. Could you just do me a really quick favor?
Go back in time.
go back in time and just tell me to get another ultrasound.
Yes.
One more ultrasound. Because that's what I'm thinking about right now. Like,
do you remember when I told the team at Nemours if there was anything they could do for me? And I said, do you think you could punch me in the face? And they were like, what? And I was
no. You have to understand the palliative team.
Yeah, it was the palliative team. Yeah.
They are so caring and kind, and they come and check on you all the time, especially like those NICU babies. They just care so much for them, and they care for the parents, and they are so soft-spoken, and they come and make sure that you're doing okay, like mentally, physically.
What do you need?
And they asked, what do you need? And that's what
I said, can you punch me in the face? Because this is a nightmare and I want to wake up. And every morning at the hospital, I would walk in and I would say to my mom, well, Mom, we're still in the nightmare. We didn't wake up yet.
Yep.
I would say every morning, Mom, we didn't wake up. It makes me cry thinking about that. I would always say, oh, Mom, we're here another day.
Yeah.
It always makes me cry thinking about that.
Because it's an absolute nightmare. And the fact that you said that
you punched me in the face
is such a Sarah Hallbeck thing. Like, what a badass move to say right then and there. Because they were probably like, oh,
yeah, because I think
she's making a funny.
I don't think I explained at first. Like, can you just punch me in the face? Yeah. And they were like, like, yeah, because I need to wake up.
Does anyone have a boxing glove?
Yeah, right.
Like, exactly. They would have gone out and done it.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah, it's so funny.
But like, this is also another one, like, helping with kids. Like, hey, bring the kids over. You guys just have the day or have a couple hours. Go out to lunch. That's super helpful. Yeah. And just saying, like, hey, I'm going to come pick up Penny and take her to the aquarium today. I'm going to take her to my house. Like, and not being like, hey, what day? Just come. Yeah, just come. Yeah. That's so, I know that people did that for you. That's amazing. Yeah. People showing up at the house and just like sitting with me and crying. Yeah. And not ignoring it. That's what one of our friends said. That's great. Yeah. Yeah. Like, if you know your person is going through it, just like show up and let it out. Yeah. You need someone to discuss it with. Paul Mitchell, he was driving by our house one time, like right after Summer died. I think it was like the next day. He just drove by our house and we were out front. And he like drove by and I was like, was that Paul? And Doug was like, what? And he drove by and he was like, I literally just wanted to give you guys a hug. Aww. And he got in his car and drove away. Like, but so sweet. See? Yeah. Amazing. It was just, and not everyone would entertain, visitors, but I think that was really just sweet. So it's all these things that seem to be a common denominator, what everyone's saying. So a lot of people saying, like, just saying, I'm here for you, letting death suck, like allowing it to be what it is, like allowing the grief to be there for your friends. Like, it's okay. Acknowledging the grief, saying their names, that person who's passed away, say their names. Someone else said, plants. Yes. Bringing bright, beautiful, full of life plants is really, really nice. Yep. We got another one that was asking thoughtful questions and listening actively is super important too. Support via acts of service. This is like all stuff that we've been talking about, but like a lot of people reiterating it. People recognizing the grieving process is about progress and not just like, oh, you're healed. Yes. Realize that, especially like I went many years of my life without losing anyone significant. And I'm very lucky for that. Yes. But once you've lost somebody so close to you, it's you have to understand, like, grieving will always be there. And everyone does it differently. And it is about progress. Yes. It's not about, oh, they're better now. They're not grieving anymore. Especially when you've lost a child. Yes. Or lost a mom or a dad. It's like such a sibling, such a huge chunk of you, a person you've known your whole life. Yeah. Yeah. That's huge. And the last one here was not being afraid to bring up memories of that person, or once again, speaking their name. That seems to be common. That's very common. Just ask questions. If they don't want to talk, you don't have to say Summer, anything. Say August, say whoever that. Yeah. Yeah. On my notes that I have here. So my notes,
somebody had reached out to me directly. That was from our Instagram, but somebody had reached out to me directly and said,
"Oh, I thought you were being facetious."
No, I really have one.
You really do have one.
I do have one note. That sort of going along with the milestone thing, where like sending a gift on the 12th, or for me the 23rd, like things like that, but more just like acknowledging the milestones is better, because in the beginning you just get flooded with information. But the milestones meant more if somebody would say, hey, just thinking about you today, on what would have been, August 2nd birthday, or just acknowledging different dates that maybe on holidays. Christmas. Like, I don't even want to think. I'm not even going to think about
Don't let
Christmas.
your brain go there.
Because Easter was 2 or 3 days after summer passed, and I went to Easter. Don't really remember much.
Don't even know how you showed up. Yeah. Because I also went to Easter.
Yeah, we were Easter together. We do holidays at Gigi's house.
Yes.
Shout out to Gigi.
Thanks, Gigi, for bringing us in.
Yeah. So I don't know how I was.
I don't know how you were there.
I think I sat there and just stared.
And I had crew there, and I felt so bad.
Yeah, why did you bring your baby that is alive?
Yeah, I know. I should have never showed up. I actually didn't think you were going to show up. I was like, there's no way she's going.
Yes. And I've said this to Kristen before, that crew doesn't trigger me.
Yeah.
Because we all deserve like healthy children. But crew doesn't trigger me, just because like I know what you had to go through, like what you went through to have like a healthy child.
Yeah.
So like he doesn't trigger me. Like,
he's a gift to all of us.
Yes. And you always say like crew wouldn't be here if it weren't for August.
No. Yeah.
So like crew has a special light around him that like I feel, so he doesn't trigger me.
Yeah.
So he can come to holidays.
Oh, thank you. I'll let him know that he can come to Thanksgiving.
Can you call him a daycare right now?
Yeah.
Let him know.
Yeah.
My thoughts.
For sure.
All right. So what didn't help?
What didn't help was a lot of the similar stuff that we had said, but not too many things, but just pay attention to these things, guys. The God needed her more thing was a resounding, like, that didn't help me. Please don't say God needed her or him more.
Do you remember somebody gave me the plaque of God or Jesus or someone holding the baby?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
We were going to burn it, but I think I ended up just throwing it in the trash.
Yeah. Terrible.
Not helpful.
Not helpful. Not helpful. Read the room. Read the room first. This didn't help somebody saying, oh, I understand, even though they've never actually gone through anything similar. Like cliches. A lot of people said cliche words like, oh, I understand, or that must be so hard. It's like, yes, it is, but you saying it to me isn't helping.
Yeah.
Like that. What else? Acting like it didn't happen. Avoiding it. Acting like it didn't happen and avoiding it is like a big one that we got. Oh, someone said they were told, you can have more babies. There's still more time. You're still so young.
Yeah.
The audacity.
Yeah. Yep.
The audacity of someone to say that.
Yeah.
For those words to even come out of someone's mouth.
It's appalling.
It's appalling.
Yeah.
There's still more time. You're so young. Oh.
I think I probably would have just stared at them and walked away.
Oh, I would have gotten physical.
Yeah, you would have probably said something. You would have definitely said something.
I would have cut someone down with my words.
You're better at that, I feel like, of like thoughtfully like just knocking someone down.
Yes.
You do like a nice job of it.
I do it with like a little smile on my face.
Yeah.
I'm a really nice person also.
Also, you're a veteran a little bit now.
Yeah.
You're more veteran into it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I've had time to be like, oh, I wish I would have said that. And I'll go, oh, I will. I'll get it. The next time somebody says something, I'll say this.
There'll be another time.
Yeah. Someone said, when people say everything happens for a reason, don't say that. That's super tone deaf.
Yeah.
This is a specific one. Someone heard this. Maybe you weren't meant to be a mom of twins.
Oh.
Okay.
Triplets then?
Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. Maybe I wasn't. Like, how do you know?
Yeah.
Anything that starts with at least, but at least this. At least you have Otto. At least you have Penny.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
Yes. All of these things just sound like stuff that I definitely probably have said before along the lines of somewhere
for sure
in my life.
I've said.
Yes.
For sure I've said
So I'm
these.
glad that we are bringing attention to things that that hurt other people.
Yeah. Just be aware.
Yeah.
Just be when you know someone is grieving, just be aware and be ready to be thoughtful in your responses and your words to them.
I agree. Yes.
Instead of feeling sorry.
Yes. Let's take a quick break before we go and sign off. Cool.
All right.
Yeah. We, our non-sponsors required us to take a quick pause.
Another break.
Because we just really, that was a lot.
That was a lot.
Just went through.
And it can be tough to hear too.
Yeah.
But I hope
cringe.
Yeah. I hope it's informative though. I hope that you get something good out of it on the things that really did help.
Yes. And it's not just the loss of a child. It can be the loss of a parent, a best friend. Like, these are universal. Yeah. This is not just for us. These are just universal things.
Yes.
Because the comments that we had received on that, on our post, they weren't all just for, children who have been lost. Yeah. It was parents and friends and
Yep.
So we're not sure what our next episode will be about yet.
No. Well, we're going to see how this one goes.
Yes.
We can brainstorm.
And that's kind of how we got to this topic was from last week's episode and
some feedback.
Like, oh my gosh, like this is so helpful. Like, what would you suggest I would say to a friend who lost a child?
Yeah.
Because a lot of our friends are going through times like that now. Like all of our friends are, having babies. We're kind of in that, period of our life.
Yeah.
What's our schedule? What do you want to think of starting to, what's your thoughts?
I don't know. So hopefully we can do at least one a week or one every 2 weeks.
Yes.
I feel like our upload schedule can be like a little hit or miss, but I don't want to have it on a set day.
Yes.
Because we are moms.
Yes, exactly.
And we live an hour away from each other.
Yeah. And so when you go to the Pink concert and you get home at 1:30 in the morning and I text her, I was like, hey, on Tuesday morning. And you were like,
she was like, do you want to record today or on Friday? And I was like, just rest and relax. I could tell. I could read.
I also lost my voice because I was just like
screaming.
So what? I'm still a rock star. And she was just flying around the stadium and I was just screaming like she personally heard my scream.
I woke up that morning going, there's no way she's going to record. So but we'll just kind of play it by ear.
Yeah. But I definitely think every week we can aim for, but definitely every 2 weeks. Yeah. But yeah, so let us know what you thought of the episode. And if you have any suggestions for the next episode.
Yeah.
And what you enjoyed about this one. What really resonated with you.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah. Tell us on our Instagram or text us and let us know.
Yep.
And we'll kind of, every week we'll do a little corrections.
Yeah, correction section. Correction section.
Yes. That's a tough one to say.
Love that.
And then maybe we'll share some feedback that we got from the weeks before and stuff like that too.
Okay.
So yeah.
We finished episode 2. Give me a hug.
We did it.
Yes. I love you. It was so good.
Get your your merch.
Yeah. Exactly. And we're not, if you like the summer, get the summer. If you like the August, get the August. It's not a competition, okay?
I didn't feel like it was a competition.
I didn't either, but that's why I don't want people to think that they have to get one, like they're supporting one more than the other.
No,
like you're not
supporting Heather.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's fine.
And it also just is so if I see August, I think of summer and vice versa.
Totally.
So, I think just wearing sweatshirts or you have the koozie over there too. Just different things that, if we see somebody at a tailgate with the koozie or like somebody's wearing a t-shirt, like when they go on vacation, it's just so heartwarming for both of us to see. So
you FaceTimed me the other day and I was in Old Navy in the dressing room and I had my summer shirt on.
You did. And I loved it.
And she was like, oh,
I love your summer shirt. And you had your August glass. Trying on some jeans. So, definitely check that out if you like. We got our fall colors in. So, other than that, that's good grief.
That's good grief for this week
2. Hopefully you liked our new set. But yeah, love you guys. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.